Welcome back from fall break, Tiger sports fans. I'm your host, Charlie Johnson.
And I'm Griffin Albright. And in this episode of Tiger Sports Nation, we have a lot to get you caught up on.
The football team defeated Ohio Wesleyan Battling Bishops in a thrilling comeback effort. DePauw, still without their starting quarterback, struggled in the first half and gave up a 19-0 lead. In the second half, the Tigers found their stride, scoring 3 touchdowns and a field goal, including the game-winning touchdown drive that put the Tigers up 22-21 with just 13 seconds remaining in the game. Quarterback Nathan McCahill played a great game with 248 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Kicker Jack Drake also kicked a crucial second-half career-long 47-yard field goal. After a hard-fought win, the Tigers are now 6-1 on the season, 4-1 in NCAC play, and will travel to Gambier, Ohio this weekend to take on Kenyon College.
The men's soccer team fell to Wabash at home by a score of 1-0 over fall break. Over the weekend, the team traveled to play Oberlin and tied 2-2. On Tuesday, the team traveled to play Denison and were defeated by a score of 2-3. The team is now 5-7-5 on the season and will face Hiram this Saturday for the final home game of the season.
The women's soccer team defeated Oberlin at home by a score of 4-1. Annalise Grammel led the team with a goal and 2 assists. The team now sits at 8-4-3 on the season, and they'll also host Hiram College this Saturday for their final home game of the season.
Field hockey was busy over fall break. They beat Wittenberg on the road by a score of 3-0 on Tuesday and then fell to Concordia, Wisconsin on Thursday. The team is now 10-5 overall and remains undefeated in conference play. They return home to play Denison this Saturday for their final home game.
The men's golf team competed at Golf Week D3 Fall Invitational in Destin, Florida. The team finished 20th out of 24 and were led by Joe Murdoch's impressive 15th place, just 10 strokes off the winner.
The women's golf team also competed in the Golf Week D3 Fall Invitational. As a team, they finished in 21st out of 24th, and DePauw's top individual was Sydney Weiner, who finished the Invitational in 50th place.
The volleyball team traveled to play Hiram College and won 3-1. On Tuesday, they hosted Wittenberg for their final conference game of the season and lost in 3 sets. They finished their conference play 3-4 and will host Transylvania this Saturday for a home match.
The men's and women's cross-country teams are traveling to Worcester this weekend to compete in the NCAC Conference Championship meet. The men are looking to win their 5th straight conference championship, and the women are hoping to win their first ever NCAC title.
The men's basketball team is traveling to play Ball State in their first game of the season this weekend. After 30 years with previous coach Bill Fenlon, this will be DePauw's first year under new leadership with head coach Rusty Lloyd.
And lastly, the men's and women's swim team are hosting DePauw University this weekend.
Brooks Coates from the men's golf team was kind enough to sit down with our very own Joey Webster to discuss the season.
Hi guys, Joey Webster here with Brooks Coates from the men's golf team. Brooks, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You guys have been doing a good show this whole year. I'm glad I could kind of hop on for an episode.
Thank you, appreciate that. So let's just kind of get right into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is I know your fall season came to an end here last weekend, right?
Yep.
Just kind of now looking back on it, how did you feel the fall went, both for you and for the team as a whole?
I think overall it was a successful fall. I mean, this is our first fall under our new coach, Coach Wallman, and for me, my freshman year, because of COVID, I didn't have a fall season, and then sophomore year was kind of a weird fall season just because we were in between coaches, and then so this fall was nice. We had much more structure. I just feel like as a team, we sort of knew what our fall plan was going to be. We knew what our goals were going to be before the fall, and I'd say we hit them. We had 5 tournaments. We went to Kentucky, Mississippi, Ohio, Indiana, or not to Indiana, we're in Indiana, but and to Florida.
Okay.
And I mean, we beat some teams, surprised some teams. We're by no means the best team in the country, but I think we totally progressed as a team.
That's awesome. You mentioned kind of going to a bunch of different places there around the country a little bit. What would you say is your favorite course to play on?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, my favorite's probably my home course back home. I'm from Oklahoma City. Got a great track back home. But I'd say in this area, a course that we've played several times is the Broadmoor Country Club in Indy. Okay. It's only an hour from campus. It's a Donald Ross style course, which is what we get to play pretty often. And I think it's a course that suits my game pretty well. It's always in great shape, and there's always a great field too. So, yeah, one of my favorite spots to play.
Nice, nice. So kind of to wrap up here, I know a few weeks ago you were named NCAC Athlete of the Week. Just kind of tell me a little about that week, how you did, and what it means to have been named.
Sure.
To that
Yeah.
award.
So to earn that award, I won a tournament. It was the state line shootout over in Harrison, Ohio. So just across the Indiana-Ohio border at the state line shootout tournament hosted by Mount St. Joe's. And it was a 2-day tournament, Saturday, Sunday. I never thought I was ever going to win a tournament, if I'm honest with you. Never won in high school, never won in middle school. Like, I never thought that moment would come, but ended up pulling out a 3-shot win over the field. The team won also, which was huge. First team win since my freshman year. I was the first one to win an event since my freshman year, which was awesome. And it was really special to win Athlete of the Week and sort of get people from all over the DePauw community and my community back home to sort of, congratulate me, repost it on social media or whatever. I always love the attention. So, yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats on that. Thanks again for joining us. Guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Brooks, for taking the time to talk with us.
And that will do it for this episode of Tiger Sports Nation. Once again, I'm Griffin Albright.
And I'm Charlie Johnson. And as always,
Roll Tigs.